very hopeful that humanity will have a base on the moon and a city on Mars in our lifetimes.
An audacious plan to colonize Mars, a project so ambitious it could reshape the course of humanity. Elon Musk, the visionary behind SpaceX, has set his sights on Mars, aiming to establish a sustainable human settlement on the red planet. In this exploration, we'll unravel the details of Musk's ambitious $66 trillion plan for Mars, examining the technological hurdles that must be overcome, the economic challenges that lie ahead, and the potential social and ethical implications of this daring venture. Join us as we embark on a journey to Mars, where the impossible becomes a reality. The origins of Elon Musk's Mars vision. Elon Musk's dream of colonizing Mars began long before SpaceX was founded, with a vision to make humanity an interplanetary species. The idea initially took shape in 2001 when Musk proposed the Mars Oasis project, which aimed to send a greenhouse to the red planet to grow plants and inspire public interest in space exploration. The goal was to reignite enthusiasm for interplanetary travel by showing new life flourishing in another world. However, Musk quickly realized that inspiration alone was not enough. What people needed was a practical means of transportation to Mars, not just another reminder that space was exciting. This realization shifted his focus toward developing a rocket system capable of making Mars colonization possible. Musk unveiled the Interplanetary Transport System, or ITS, at the 2016 International Astronautical Congress, a massive spacecraft designed to transport large groups of settlers from Earth to Mars. This was the first major step toward his ultimate goal of a self-sustaining human colony on another planet. However, the ITS underwent several redesigns over the years, evolving into what is now known as Starship, SpaceX's fully reusable spacecraft designed for deep space travel. Musk understood that affordability and reliability were crucial for interplanetary travel to become viable, which is why Starship was built to lower the cost of spaceflight dramatically compared to traditional rockets. More than a decade has been spent on the development of Starship, with many prototype iterations and testing before breakthroughs happened. The manufacturing of Starship prototypes started in 2019, which is considered a major milestone in the Mars mission. In April 2023, the first full-scale Starship Super Heavy was launched with plans to see both the upper stage and the booster land controllably by November 2024. Musk had his feet on the ground about future missions, saying that some would fail, but each step would be worth it. By 2026, at least 2 uncrewed Starships are planned to attempt landings on Mars. Musk envisions that long-term survival needs multi-planetary living by humanity. He has posited over and over that space exploration is more than just a scientific curiosity, but securing the future of civilization. Musk's commitment to making Mars colonization a reality is apparent in his research and perseverance in developing the technology for interplanetary travel, despite all the doubts and challenges. His initial vision from the greenhouse concept to a developed comprehensive Mars colonization plan perhaps evolved into one of the most ambitious space projects ever. The best is yet to come, and what's next will change everything you thought you knew about Mars exploration. Starship. Starship is the backbone of Elon Musk's plan to colonize Mars, designed to transport large groups of people and cargo efficiently between Earth and the Red Planet. Initially conceived as the Interplanetary Transport System, or ITS, in 2016, the spacecraft underwent several design changes before evolving into Starship, a fully reusable rocket. Unlike traditional rockets, Starship is built to dramatically lower the cost of space travel, making interplanetary colonization a feasible reality. The system consists of 2 major components: the Super Heavy booster, which provides the necessary thrust to escape Earth's gravity, and the Starship upper stage, which carries crew and cargo to deep space destinations like Mars. SpaceX has spent years refining the design and capabilities of Starship, overcoming numerous technical challenges. Prototype manufacturing officially began in 2019, with SpaceX testing multiple iterations to improve performance and reusability. The first full-scale launch of Starship with the Super Heavy booster took place in April 2023, marking a historic milestone despite initial setbacks. By November 2024, SpaceX had successfully achieved controlled landings of both the upper stage and booster, a critical step toward ensuring Starship's full reusability. These advancements demonstrated that Musk's vision of a sustainable Mars transport system was not just theoretical, it was becoming a reality. SpaceX plans to launch uncrewed Starships to Mars by 2026. This experiment will signify a landing attempt by the spacecraft on another planet. Should these missions fail to suffer earlier major calamities, Musk believes he will be able to introduce the first crewed Starship voyage in 2028. However, he does retain a realistic feeling of how early missions can turn up the odds against them. In November 2024, Musk wrote, "I am highly confident that we can send several uncrewed Starships to Mars in 2 years. If those ships don't increase the crater count on Mars, then crewed ships can be sent in 4 years." This is the booster shot in his practical conciliation, identifying how failures would likely materialize early, yet marching onward in continuous excitement with innovation. Starship is the world's greatest step in space travel technology since the Apollo era. Unprecedented scaling and unparalleled power at the lowest cost ever. It is capable of putting into space, at one stretch, more than 100 tons of cargo, and thus is by far the best spacecraft ever goaded to extreme colonization conditions by humanity. To top all these, it is also going to play a very important part in the Artemis mission program of NASA in establishing a human presence on the Moon, preparing to travel beyond. And as SpaceX improves the technologies for the ship, it remains the only single most important technology tool in Musk's vision of a self-sustaining human colony on Mars. Cybertrucks and Tesla bots. Elon Musk's vision for Mars doesn't just involve getting people to the red planet, it also requires the necessary technology to sustain life in its harsh environment. 2 key pieces of this plan are Cybertrucks and Tesla bots. Optimus, which will serve as the first wave of settlers before humans arrive. When asked about the first payloads to Mars, Musk simply replied, "Cybertrucks and Optimus robots." This statement underscores his strategy. Before humans step foot on Mars, these autonomous machines will be deployed to prepare infrastructure, assist in construction, and make survival easier for future colonists. The Cybertruck is an ideal candidate for Martian transportation due to its rugged durability, all-electric powertrain, and advanced off-road capabilities. Mars is a hostile desert environment filled with sharp rocks and unstable terrain, making traditional vehicles impractical. With its stainless steel exoskeleton, armored glass, and adaptive air suspension, the Cybertruck is built to withstand extreme conditions. Unlike gas-powered vehicles, which would require a complex fuel supply on Mars, Cybertrucks run on electricity, making them highly compatible with solar power, one of the most viable energy sources on the planet. These vehicles will enable colonists to explore, transport supplies, and navigate the unforgiving Martian landscape efficiently. Meanwhile, Tesla bots, Optimus will form an important part of the effort towards a completely self-sufficient settlement. These autonomous humanoid robots have been designed to mimic human capabilities and will be the first settlers on Mars. They will unpack, install, and assemble the solar panels, build shelters, repair equipment, supervise maintenance, and locate tasks for human occupants in that order. Mars has, on average, extreme temperatures, high levels of radiation, and a very thin atmosphere such that reducing human exposure to these hazards would be crucial. SpaceX will leave the labor-intensive and high-risk tasks to Tesla bots to improve safety and efficiency and support making a sustainable human presence possible. The combination of Cybertrucks to provide the transport for these infrastructures going up and Tesla bots to get them into place fits Musk's larger philosophy of building automation and AI into our means of survival in extremes. These are not just technologies for Earth, but a clear case of making applications in space colonization. Using these advanced machines, SpaceX will be able to create a very viable Martian outpost before humans even arrive, ensuring that first settlers have all the necessary materials and infrastructure in place to survive. At the core of the first Martian labor force will be Cybertrucks and Tesla bots, proving again that Musk's companies do not only develop futuristic technology, but also actively shape the future interplanetary civilization. AI and automation. Elon Musk's plan for colonizing Mars heavily relies on artificial intelligence and automation to ensure the survival of human settlers in an environment where mistakes can be fatal. Given the significant communication delay between Earth and Mars, ranging from 5 to 20 minutes one way, colonists cannot depend on real-time assistance from mission control. Instead, they will require AI systems capable of making autonomous decisions, troubleshooting technical problems, and optimizing resource management. This is where xAI's Grok, Tesla bots, and automated infrastructure come into play, helping bridge the gap between human needs and technological limitations. One of Musk's most ambitious AI projects is Grok, a large language model being developed by xAI. Unlike Earth-based AI assistants, Grok is being designed to achieve artificial general intelligence, or AGI, a system that can think, learn, and solve problems like a human. On Mars, Grok could serve as a digital brain for the colony, providing real-time assistance, analyzing environmental conditions, and helping colonists solve complex challenges without waiting for Earth-based experts. This AI system would be essential in a world where delayed responses could mean life or death, allowing settlers to receive instant guidance, troubleshoot issues, and automate decision-making in real time. In addition to artificial intelligence, Tesla bots, Optimus will carry out essential avenues for automating day-to-day functioning on Mars. Such humanoid robots perform human-like tasks, such as maintaining solar farms, repairing equipment, constructing habitats, and assisting settlers with dangerous or labor-intensive work. Their presence will ensure the establishment of basic infrastructure on Mars before the arrival of humans, with less risk for the early settlers. Moreover, connecting such bots to Neuralink will allow future colonists to control the bots through their thoughts, thereby facilitating work in harsh environments from within their habitats. Musk's robotics and automation strategy underlines a fundamental transformation to robot-assisted colonization in human exploration. AIs will not just aid in self-maintenance, but also in productivity and efficiencies like those never imagined. With Grok as the intelligence hub for the colony, Tesla bots doing the heavy lifting, and Neuralink providing the direct link from brain to machine, it's all about the AI for making it happen in outer space, a self-sustaining Martian civilization. This is how Musk automates functions, thus ensuring that living on Mars will not merely involve survival. It guarantees that not just survival, but also thriving, will come to settle life on Mars. Neuralink. Neuralink, Elon Musk's brain-computer interface company, set to play a pivotal role in the survival and efficiency of Mars colonists. Since Mars will be an extremely hazardous and isolated environment, seamless interaction between humans and AI will be crucial. Musk has frequently spoken about the potential of Neuralink to merge human intelligence with artificial intelligence, and on Mars, this could mean the difference between life and death. The technology involves implanting tiny wires into the brain, connecting it to a microcomputer that can process and transmit data, effectively allowing humans to interact with AI systems and robotic assistants in real time. One of the most significant applications of Neuralink on Mars would be the ability to control Tesla bots remotely. Instead of exposing humans to the dangers of Martian conditions, settlers could operate humanoid robots from within safe habitats, using only their thoughts. This would allow colonists to repair equipment, construct shelters, and even explore hazardous areas without physically stepping outside into the hostile Martian environment. Given that dust storms, radiation, and low atmospheric pressure pose serious risk, this mind-controlled automation could drastically reduce casualties and increase efficiency. In addition, the most significant benefit of Neuralink on Mars is its readiness to serve as an instantaneous knowledge database in colonist habitation. Indeed, there is no instant solving of problems by the Mission Control Unit when the time-lapse communication between Earth and Mars is up to 20 minutes. A Neuralink could therefore be held to provide instantaneous AI-driven knowledge, giving settlers on-the-spot installations and possibly real-time virtual guidance toward independent troubleshooting. If integrated with Grok, Musk's AI organizing system, then that critical information has at least guarantees of accessibility to ensure adaptability and survival in an unpredictable world. Neuralink could advance beyond state and survival and cognition and communication enhancement to a level of collaboration among settlers. It could be brain-to-brain communication for colonists, exchanging ideas, strategizing, and maybe solving problems, without a spoken word in between. In times of stress, that would be priceless. Although the availability of Neuralink applications is truly revolutionary, such as treating neurological disorders, it is even more revolutionary as the potential for colonization of Mars. Neuralink could merge the human brain with AI, and robotics could thus be instrumental in establishing a Martian society that lives entirely without contact with Earth. This will dramatically change the future of space exploration and human evolution. This was just a glimpse of the future. What's next will lay the foundation for an entirely new world. Building a self-sustaining Martian city. Elon Musk's ultimate vision for Mars is not just landing humans on the red planet, but establishing a self-sustaining city with 1 million people. This ambitious goal requires an enormous amount of infrastructure, resources, and planning. According to Musk, achieving this vision will involve transporting 1 million tons of supplies and materials from Earth to Mars using 1,000 Starship rockets. Unlike temporary space missions, this city will be built to support life permanently, meaning colonists will need food, water, shelter, and energy sources that do not rely on continuous shipments from Earth. The key to survival is self-sufficiency, creating an ecosystem where Martian settlers can live, work, and eventually thrive without outside help. To construct this city, SpaceX plans to send Tesla bots, Optimus, and Cybertrucks ahead of human arrivals to begin assembling the necessary infrastructure. Automated robots will be responsible for setting up solar farms for energy, constructing habitats, and preparing life support systems. Since Mars has no breathable atmosphere, enclosed habitats with controlled oxygen levels will be essential for survival. Over time, colonists will need to develop systems for water extraction, food production, and waste recycling to reduce reliance on Earth-based supplies. Musk has also hinted that underground tunnels, built using the Boring Company's tunneling machines, could provide additional protection from radiation, dust storms, and extreme temperature fluctuations. A major challenge in establishing a self-sustaining Martian city is creating a functional economy and society. Musk proposed a city where people could live and work in the same way as on Earth, to have businesses with schools, entertainment centers, and industries. This raises the possibility of developing a Martian economy that ideally would be based on resource mining, scientific research, and technology development. Essential materials such as water ice, minerals, and carbon dioxide would be extracted and transformed into fuels, construction materials, and oxygen. Over time, the entire colony will become less Earth-dependent and more self-sufficient. Future generations will then be able to build and expand the city without the resources of resupply missions. However, the main determinants for a Martian city to be actually self-sufficient would be advancements in technologies, the establishment of automation, and human adaptability. Musk is clear that the first settlers will undergo extreme hardships and great risks, and no guarantees come with survival. But with Starship, cheap transportation, Tesla bots automating infrastructure, AI helping with decisions, and Neuralink augmenting human ability, the vision of a people-filled permanent city on Mars becomes more realistic. This would possibly be counted as one of the greatest milestones in history from the perspective of humankind, making Mars a second home for humanity and ensuring human survival outside Earth. The Boring Company's role in Mars colonization. One of the biggest challenges of living on Mars is protection from the planet's extreme environment, which includes radiation, micrometeorites, dust storms, and atmospheric exposure. Unlike Earth, Mars lacks a thick atmosphere and a strong magnetic field, meaning that radiation levels are dangerously high and colonists would be exposed to harmful cosmic rays and solar radiation. To solve this problem, Elon Musk has suggested that underground habitats could be the best way to keep settlers safe. This is where the Boring Company, Musk's tunnel-digging venture, comes into play. Its advanced tunneling technology could help create underground cities on Mars, providing natural shielding against radiation and other environmental hazards. In November 2024, Musk emphasized the importance of tunnels on Mars, stating on X, formerly Twitter, "Tunnels will be important on Mars." The Boring Company responded by confirming that its latest tunneling machine, Prufrock 4, fits inside a Starship payload bay. This means that SpaceX could transport tunneling machines to Mars, where they would begin digging underground habitats for future settlers. Unlike traditional Earth-based tunnel boring machines, a Mars-specific design would be optimized for the planet's lower gravity and unique soil composition. These tunnels could serve multiple purposes, including housing, storage facilities, research labs, and transportation routes, shielding colonists from the harsh surface conditions. Underground bases would also address the dust storm issue on Mars, as they can envelop the whole planet for weeks, if not months. Storms can cause damage to solar panels, block sunlight, and, more importantly, reduce visibility, thus making the habitats on the surface quite dangerous and unreliable. They could move between habitats unharmed without suffering those extreme conditions if a network of underground tunnels might be constructed. Over time, this infrastructure could grow into a self-sustaining, fully functional city on Mars, including tunnels connecting different settlement zones, power stations, and industrial hubs. Moreover, these tunnels could be dug and expanded by the machines developed by the boring company autonomously. This would enhance the speed and scaling of the entire Mars colonization effort. Musk has also been theorizing about using tunnel boring technology to mine water ice and other important elements on Mars. Since there are huge underground pools of frozen water within Mars, this provides an opportunity for boring machines to easily access these deposits, which is very important for the colonizers because it can be used to drink, irrigate, and produce fuel. Realizing that these ice deposits will form the basis of Musk's dream project of terraforming Mars after some time, having water vapor and CO2 released into the atmosphere will increase the temperature and atmospheric pressure of the planet over time. Through boring companies' sophisticated tunneling systems, Mars colonists could make safer habitats, extract vital resources, and put in place a sustainable underground infrastructure, bringing humanity even closer to a second home on Mars. Terraforming Mars. Elon Musk's long-term vision for Mars goes beyond simply building a colony. He wants to terraform the planet, making it more Earth-like and capable of supporting life. Right now, Mars is a cold, barren world with an average temperature of -81 degrees Fahrenheit or -63 degrees Celsius, a thin atmosphere, and almost no liquid water on the surface. For a human settlement to thrive in the long run, Mars needs to be warmed up and given a thicker atmosphere to retain heat and provide oxygen for breathing. While this idea may sound like science fiction, Musk has proposed a radical solution, using nuclear explosions to release CO2 and water vapor trapped in the planet's frozen ice caps, triggering an artificial greenhouse effect. Musk has advocated for nuking Mars multiple times, arguing that detonating nuclear bombs over the Martian poles could quickly vaporize frozen CO2 and water ice, releasing them into the atmosphere. This would create a self-sustaining cycle of warming, where greenhouse gases trap heat from the sun and gradually increase surface temperatures. Once the temperature rises, more ice would melt, releasing even more CO2 and water vapor, which could eventually allow for the formation of rivers, lakes, and possibly even oceans. While this method is highly controversial and would take centuries to have a full effect, Musk believes it's the fastest and most effective way to terraform Mars. Several ideas, apart from blasts from nuclear bombs, include creating giant orbital reflectors, beaming sunlight onto Mars, shipping ammonia-rich asteroids to increase atmospheric pressure into Mars, and genetically modified plants and microbes converting CO2 to oxygen. Musk has said that terraforming would be very difficult and take a long time, but that he believes it may be achievable in hundreds of years, given enough technology. Step 1 will be sending humans, building infrastructure, and starting tests to warm up local areas with greenhouse domes or artificial habitats. But here is a strong problem: that Mars lacks a global magnetic field, and therefore any new atmosphere would be slowly stripped by the solar wind, just as billions of years ago. To hatch Mars completely, scientists need to devise a way to prevent the loss of atmosphere to space by definite methods, possibly artificial magnetic fields. Making Mars Earth-like may take hundreds or thousands of years, but according to Musk, there's no time like the present to start it by joining colonization and technological innovation. With or without full terraforming, he believes that making Mars a habitable world would be humanity's best shot at becoming a multi-planet species. Governance and laws on Mars. As Elon Musk pushes forward with his plan to establish a self-sustaining Martian city, one major question remains unanswered. Who will govern Mars, and what laws will its settlers follow? Unlike previous space missions that operate under international treaties, a permanent Mars colony would require its own legal system, leadership structure, and rules for maintaining order. With Musk envisioning 1 million people living on Mars, governance will be a critical factor in ensuring the colony's success and long-term survival. While Musk has spoken extensively about the technology and logistics of getting to Mars, he has yet to provide a clear plan for its political structure. The biggest challenge in Martian governance is that no existing government has sovereignty over Mars. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, signed by most major spacefaring nations, states that no country can claim ownership of celestial bodies like Mars. However, it does not provide a framework for how an independent settlement should be run. Musk has previously suggested that Mars should have a direct democracy, where colonists vote directly on laws rather than relying on elected representatives. This system could be more efficient in a small, self-contained society, but as the population grows, more complex governmental structures may be needed. Another worrying aspect is the conflicts, crime, and resource management on Mars. It will be composed mostly of highly trained specialists and scientists, and therefore, easy cooperation will occur in the early years of the first colonization. However, with time and population, socio-economic competition, social disputes, and legal challenges will arise that have to be tackled. These include issues such as property rights, taxation, labor laws, and corporate influence that need to be regulated clearly. Again, is the colony a corporate-run society, a private territory, or an independent nation if SpaceX remains the single most influential player on Mars colonization? Without governance in place, Mars could easily become lawless and chaotic, like the ones in the period of early civilization, rather than a new, thriving civilization. Musk's increasing influence in politics may be a factor that influences Martian governance. Starting in 2025, Musk will get more involved in the affairs of the US government, which might transcend into future space policies. The government never before witnessed such an event, for it would set aside history by establishing a self-governing Mars colony as a government entirely born from another planet. Still, many queries are left unanswered. Whether Mars in the end would declare itself independent from Earth, whether it will draft its constitution, what rights will there be for Martian settlers? Musk has not as yet divulged his political vision for Mars, but it is safe to opine that laws and governance would be as critical as survival technology. All roads lead to this moment, the final, most influential factor in shaping the future of space and beyond. Elon Musk's growing influence in government. As Elon Musk continues to push the boundaries of space exploration, artificial intelligence, and automation, his influence in global politics and government is expanding at an unprecedented rate. With his companies, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, The Boring Company, and xAI, Musk is shaping industries that directly impact national security, energy policies, and technological advancements. His involvement in space policy, AI regulation, and infrastructure development has positioned him as one of the most influential figures in modern history. Starting in January 2025, Musk is expected to take on an even more significant role in US government affairs, raising questions about how his influence could shape policies related to Mars colonization, AI governance, and interplanetary law. Musk's growing government connections stem largely from SpaceX's role as a critical partner for NASA and the US military. SpaceX has become the leading provider of space launches for both civilian and defense-related missions, securing multi-billion-dollar contracts with NASA and the Pentagon. The success of Starship and the Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the moon, has further cemented SpaceX as an indispensable asset to American space dominance. As Mars colonization efforts progress, Musk's political leverage will only increase, as he holds the key to deep space exploration and interplanetary expansion. Musk's commercial ventures into AI and automation go beyond space policy. They are attracting concern from lawmakers regarding the potentially catastrophic future of artificial intelligence. His company xAI pursues these ends with a competing Grok large language model being developed. Thus, Musk is wrestling with the likes of OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft to see who takes home AI supremacy. His view, pruned over the years by his regulations on AI to avoid existential threats, places him in direct conversations with policymakers concerning the future of AI governance. He is also certainly at the center of human augmentation regarding ethics and legality through his work with Neuralink in brain-computer interfaces. Human-robot integration will be a hot topic of debate because of his involvement. Thus, one can extrapolate that Musk's political thinking involves industry leadership as well as other dimensions because he has his hands in space, AI, energy, and defense. He has not declared any intention to run for office, but his growing participation in policy discussions, regulatory debates, and government contracts shows that he is creating opportunities for further political influence. However, how Mars will be ruled, and whether it will be by Musk himself, will become a subject of discussion once he successfully establishes a human settlement there. The world will continue to watch closely as Elon Musk's influence and power expand, driven by an ever-growing curiosity about the extent to which his ambitious vision for the future will shape not only technological advancements, but also governance and societal structures, both on Earth and perhaps even in space. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting space content. Check out the next video on your screen for more mind-blowing discoveries. See you next time.